I found this galvanized milk can at Goodwill. Is it called a milk can? I think that's what I'm going to call it. I'm using Fusion's mineral paint and the color parchment, and it works perfectly for something like this because it has both a primer and a sealer. And I let that dry overnight. I got this beautiful napkin in my Sonnets Makers box this month. I'm going to apply it to the front of my can. So I'm taking some liquid patina and making sure I have a good coat over the surface. And I separated my napkin from the back ply, and I'm going to smooth it out using my finger here for a minute, and then I quickly switch over to some cling wrap. But at first I use my fan brush to help me get it smoothed out. Sorry, my stutter's just bad today. I've been doing a lot of voiceovers and having to stop and start again, and I'm just getting sick of stopping and starting. Like, this is me. I don't have any control over it, and it's just so frustrating. So moving forward, I'm just gonna keep plugging along. I also sealed everything in with more of that liquid patina. Let it dry. And now we're going to work on the back. And I'm using IOD's stamp. It's called Christmas Post. And off camera, I moved around some of the stamps to get the images that I wanted. And I'm using some, I think this is stone gray. I don't think I'm using the black one for this, and I'm just cleaning up around my stamp because I don't want to get ink where I don't want it, right? And I'm leaving it right on the carrier sheet and carefully, very carefully setting my image down. I always get so anxious when it comes to this part because I don't want to smear my image and just make a total mess that will take me like forever to fix. So keeping one hand on one side, I'm just gonna go over and carefully make sure that I get every spot and then just switch hands. And then when I lift off my carrier sheet, I go upwards just really quick. I don't drag because I don't want to smear it. And then heat setting it for a good 10 minutes. I mean, 2 minutes with my embossing gun. Off camera, I sealed everything in with Rust-Oleum's spray sealer in matte, and then I wanted to add a little bit more red and bring forward the red in Santa. So this is Fusion's mineral paint in the color Fort York red, and as you can see, I'm going to go all around the top, and I'm also going to paint the handles and then the very bottom rim there. And I do 2 coats. I'm adding a thin layer of Aleene's Tacky Glue all the way around this rim. It dries clear, and that's exactly what I want. And then I'm going to take these teensy tiny metal beads, and I found these on Amazon, and I got the idea from Erin at the Provincial Farmhouse. She adds these to a lot of her ornaments, and I just think this is like the perfect addition to basically anything, especially when you want to frame something in. So I'm gently pressing those metal beads. It's almost like a chain. That's the best way to describe it, like a metal chain, and pushing those into my glue, and then wrapping it all around the front and just trimming it off in the back. Next, I'm taking this stencil that I got, I believe, on Temu, and Paint Couture's embossing medium and this spatula and spreading out my embossing medium all over. And I don't want this to look perfect. And if you look at the stencil, there's imperfections in the stencil because it's supposed to look imperfection, like it's supposed to have imperfections. There we go. And just applying a smooth layer. It's okay if there's bumps. And as I said, we're going for imperfections. Like with all of my DIYs, I feel like almost everything that I make is meant to look unperfect or imperfect. But I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to smear this and make a whole mess. So I have to start all over again. I want imperfections, but I don't want a disaster. And I love this embossing medium. You can use it for all sorts of things. And it's nice as faux snow. It makes a very perfect faux snow, or like icing on something. If you're making gingerbread DIYs, it's perfect for that, and fake bakes. It's a lot of fun. And you can also add texture to it. You could also use some salt wash and make it into like a texture paste. And that's also a nice additive if you're making faux snow. And as you can see, I'm adding it to both sides of my can. It looked perfect just how it was, but it was missing something. So I'm taking this transfer and just cutting off the letter A, and I want it to say Merry Christmas. So I'm trimming it down real good because I want to make sure that it has good contact, because we're going on to a curved surface. So making a few extra slip marks there, and do what I always do with transfers, just begin rubbing and then pull that transfer sheet back and burnish it. But that is it for this simple and beautiful project. I just added some greenery and berries and the fake candy, and of course that adorable little snowman. This is in cinematic mode, so I'm assuming that's why it looks a little bit different, but it doesn't take away from the beauty. So thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I hope that this inspires you to make something beautiful for your home. Until the next one, bye.